right, we're on. Welcome to A Healthy Cleveland. I'm Dana Clark. Glad to have you here tonight. Join us for a very, very special edition of A Healthy Cleveland. First of all, though, I want to give a quick shout out to Nicole at the Root Cafe. Every Thursday night, she's there working her butt off doing the Raw Food Thursdays. Definitely something you should check out. She's a sweetheart, and the Root Cafe is a great place to go hang out. Raw Food Thursdays is definitely not one to miss. I won't spoil all the surprises. You must go check it out. If you love to eat healthy, definitely a stop you should make. Tonight's guest is Mr. Pat Sullivan. I'm so glad and excited to have Pat with us here tonight. Pat, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Tina.
How are you doing?
I'm all right so far.
Excellent. Well, you know, we have a little bit of history, and you've been a musician for a long time. And, you know, there's, we've been saying on Twitter and on Facebook all week that this is the featured pet show.
Yeah.
So, you know, being a vet tech for over a decade, you have quite a bit of knowledge about this, I expect.
Right, yeah. I was excited about the Vitamix thing because there's a bunch of ways that it works in together with it, so.
Right on. We'll definitely talk a little bit about that. You know, you've played with tons of musicians around over the years. And you've got, you know, 5 albums under your belt.
Yeah, so far.
And 2 more in the works.
Yep, should be out within a couple of months.
Excellent. And you've recently been down to Nashville.
Yeah, I lived there for a couple of years. I lived there from 2007 to 2009.
You know, every time somebody comes back from Nashville, they're like, oh my gosh, it's the greatest musical city. Everywhere you go, there's 5 bands here, 2 bands there. Is that kind of what you experienced?
The 5 bands there, 2 bands there thing, that's one way that it's pretty cool. I mean, it's not amazing that way, but it's pretty cool. There's always something to see, but what's great down there is the industry of the music and the way that people get out to support original music. You know, it's all built around songwriting, and, you know, as opposed to, you know, just a lot of markets that, you know, just are kind of built around the bar scene, you know. And down there, since songwriting is such an important part of the industry, original music is really, you know, a pretty vibrant thing. It is in some other markets too.
Right on. And being the prolific songwriter that you are, do you feel that experience there helped you better yourself in your songwriting capabilities, or as a musician in general? Definitely.
It helps you with the craft of it. You know, you're around a whole bunch of other people that are great at what they do with that, and in a, you know, environment that encourages people to be growing, you know, and so it tweaks you, and it challenges you.
That's great. You know, we've seen a lot of, you know, changes and growth in our city, you know, here over the last few years, and, you know, everywhere I look, I do see a positive, you know, direction that we're heading. So it's great to have you back in Cleveland.
Thanks.
But you've been back for a little while.
A couple of years, yeah. I came back in 2009 to be with my family for some things, but.
Right on. And so, meanwhile, you're recording these 2 albums. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's like or what it's about?
The one album, okay. My last record, I tend to do my records under different project names, okay. And my last record, I released under the project name Chuckles McChumpy and his Red Hot Band of Nashville Goodlookers. And so the one thing that I'm doing right now is another Chuckles McChumpy record. And it's, you know, thematically tied with what I was doing there, and uses, you know, a couple of the same guest musicians and things like that. And then the other one is something that I'm working on with, you know, a different engineer, different assistant, and that sort of thing. And it's going to be released under the name King Michael and the Royal We. And it's, you know, a little different arrangement, a little different thing.
Right on. Interesting names. And I'm really looking forward to the performance tonight. This is the first time we've ever had anything other than acoustic music on the show. On. So I'll save the surprise for later, but I'm definitely looking forward to that. Now, you recorded and played with, is it Steve Sweeney, guitar player on the Mook albums. Now, this is going back quite a ways for you, and he's a guitar player for Acoustic Hookah.
Right.
Still. And so when you recorded with the Mook, do you think, as far as the style or what we're going to hear on these new albums, is a lot different from that?
I think it's a lot different, yeah. The Mook was it was a jam band record, you know.
Right.
Had the Sultans of Bing as the basic band behind me, and then, you know, guests like Steve Sweeney, you know, and I had this great trumpeter named Mike Wade that put a couple of things on there too. And so it was very, very dramatic, and you know, the whole jam band dynamic that builds up to big crescendos and things like that, you know. The last couple of things I've been doing I've been doing a lot more of it myself, and you know, doing things a little bit more minimalistic sometimes, and just kind of, you know, messing around with things. I gotta.
What instruments do you play?
Kind of whatever I need at the time.
Gotcha.
You know?
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
You know, never spent a whole lot of time with ukulele, but I had a little couple vacation days this weekend. I got about 14 hours on ukulele.
Right on. Did you feel huge playing it?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a good way to look at it, you know. Wow. So, you know, when we first started talking about you know, the dogs and the evolution, the dietary evolution of dogs and cats. You know, I kind of pictured, like, you know, back in the days, you know, before dogs were domesticated, them, you know, ravaging the guts of a deer to get their, you know, their vegetables. Mm-hmm. And that's because that's kind of what we were talking about. You explained to me, and so I always got that vision stuck in my mind. You know, a dog eating out of a, and you know, we look at them as carnivorous because they're meat eaters, but there's a reason, obviously, that they do that.
Yep.
So, you know, how is this, you know, since we've domesticated animals, how has that all changed for them as far as, you know, what they used to be like in my vision?
Yeah. Well, you got to figure, for one thing, that the way that the whole evolutionary process works is that there hasn't been, the 25,000 years or so that's elapsed since domesticated started to happen is not a long enough time for huge, significant changes to be happening in their GI tract. And it's going to more or less be the same metabolic processes and things like that. And just as the carnivorous animals back then, you know, the mussels weren't a very good source of a lot of the vitamins and minerals and micronutrients and things like that. But, you know, if it was a rabbit, their intestines was full of half-digested
grass.
You know, grass. Yeah, just
green
that
stuff.
Vegetables and things like that. Since it's half-digested, their carnivorous tract could pass it through and could digest it and get some things out of it. Because, you know, you don't see a dog going up to a broccoli plant and just eating it off of there. And the reason is because they can't digest it. And actually, anybody that's ever tried to feed their pets carrots knows that, because they come out as just shredded carrots, you know, and they don't get digested.
Wow.
But when they're half digested in the rabbit, then they become something that the dog can use. Modern day dog foods, they don't, you know, they'll spray some vitamins on there or something, you know, some of these ones that have vegetables all over the cover, they'll throw a pea or two into the mix, but it's not really enough.
We always see the advertisements, you know, for a shinier coat and for healthier teeth, you know, which is, you know, which seems like, and on the outside, you know, that represents one thing, but we totally don't hear about the other. I don't, at least, of course, maybe it's because I'm not a dog owner. So maybe you can, you know, tell me, do they advertise like for a lot of for organic dog food?
There's more and more of it. And there's more and more of that kind of a thing coming out. Still, most of it ends up being things where the proteins have to, you know, be extruded through a process of turning things into a cereal. It affects the quality of the protein, and then usually they end up just sort of spraying, you know, some vitamins and things like that on it. It usually ends up not really being quite enough. And sometimes if you see dogs that are grazing a lot out in the backyard, sometimes, yeah, you know, the common wisdom is they're trying to make themselves throw up. Sometimes that's probably true. But a lot of times I think it's also because they're trying to get something out of the grass because they're missing things from their diet. And if you, when I was working at the holistic place in Nashville, a lot of times we'd have them put a vegetable smoothie, pour it onto their food, and a lot of these dogs stopped grazing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I have a friend that will give her dog vitamins, right? And watching them, you know, put the vitamin in the dog's mouth is kind of hilarious. And since I've been using the Vitamix, obviously benefiting, humans benefit from the health benefits from pureeing your food and liquefying your food
Yep.
and getting all the raw nutrients is obviously good for us. So could you use that, for a dog too?
Totally, yeah, absolutely. And in fact, I would say that, you talk about how the dogs have vitamins and things like that they have to get. Another great thing about using this Vitamix thing, okay, you can use this as, just with a little bit of thinking things through, as a way to get meds to difficult to pill pets. Because if you've got capsules and stuff like that, let's say you give a capsule twice a day and you've got an animal that's really, difficult to pill. Well, you make up your smoothie, you pour 13 ounces of it into a measuring thing, because those 14 ice cube trays that you get, each of those is an ounce. Right?
Okay.
Then you can just put all of your capsules in there, blend it all up, pour it into that thing, and you have 14 doses. Put it in your freezer, pull one out at a time, put it in like an ice cube, let it thaw over their food.
Smart.
Yeah,
it's funny because we've been kind of making sorbet like that with fruit,
Yeah.
and I put it in the freezer, and later you can scoop it out
Yeah.
with a spoon. Same thing for the pet. That's great. Obviously, well, here's my next question: what would be something, for example, that I could put in the Vitamix and make that the dog would just love and gobble up?
that's going to be different from dog to dog. Tell you what, I'm going to answer that backwards though, okay? Because whenever you're dealing with something about what you're putting into something like this with an animal, you have to make sure up front you deal with the things that animals should not get.
So what not to put in
Yeah,
it is probably
yeah.
more important. That makes
So
sense.
here's a good long list, actually. You'd be surprised. Avocados,
No.
pets should never get avocados. Grapes, pets should never get grapes or raisins.
Yeah.
Okay, they do bad things to kidneys. Tomatoes, dogs, they can have a couple of tomatoes, but you really shouldn't do them too much. Cats should never have tomatoes, okay? Things like apples, almonds, apricots, peaches, plums, wild cherries, you gotta stay away from the seeds, because the seeds have cyanide in them, okay? Broccoli's gonna give them gas. Chocolate, they should never ever have.
Right.
Mushrooms, they should never ever have. Onion and garlic can be overdone, and you should always be careful about mushrooms. And one other thing, if you happen to be thinking, just to make it taste better, I'm going to put in some sort of a human drink for sweetening it up. Xylitol is an animal killer, and so anything that has xylitol in it, you have to stay away from. Okay. However, honey is awesome, and if you have an animal out there that has seasonal allergies, you put some locally produced honey into their smoothie and watch them disappear.
Right on. Wow. It's funny too, you always see the dogs that are the jokes on TV, the dogs like peanut butter. Yeah, so that would probably not be a bad thing for them either.
Sometimes. Now, the thing about peanut butter is that just like it's come up as a very frequent allergen for humans, it's one of the things that animals are oftentimes allergic to. And
Gotcha.
so, you keep an eye out for food allergies. I have an animal that's highly allergic to, everything. And, you keep an eye out for the signs of it with mostly skin things. And if you notice them licking their feet a whole lot or really going after their ears a whole lot,
They're allergic.
likely that there's some sort of an allergy
Right.
process going on.
Hey, I'm curious, going back, you said grapes are bad for their kidneys. Is it different in, obviously, dogs than it is for humans?
Yes, though the metabolisms are entirely different. And that's kind of part of one of the points. It's the same things that makes the metabolism of a dog, have difficulty with things like lettuce and broccoli, but do fine with, leg of bison, whereas we would be the opposite. The same things make it so that they process a lot of these chemicals differently. A single cherry tomato can really do bad things to a cat.
Gotcha.
Just that little thing might
Really?
be all
Was
it
like give them
takes.
diarrhea or?
A little cherry tomato can kill a cat.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, avocados can kill both of them.
Well, they probably have the instinct, obviously, to avoid that stuff.
Sometimes, you'd think that, but then, the other thing, it's not a food, so we don't need to worry about it with this, but the other thing that always gets cats is lilies. For some reason, cats just love the taste of lilies, but they're deadly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I think it made me think about a few shows back, we talked about milk thistle. Right, and how that helps I believe it helps the metabolism of the liver,
yeah.
or which helps the liver, which helps your metabolism
Yeah.
of your body. Is that taboo for dogs? Or
No,
sure?
a lot of those things you can very easily work into what you're giving your dog or your cat. It's good to, I guess you got to be cautious about them, and do a little bit of research before you do anything. If you happen to have a holistic vet or a vet that is holistically minded and up to date on supplements, check. Always good to be safe and stuff like that. But generally, things like milk thistle, dogs love it, and it does just as much good for a dog's liver as it can for humans.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there any, off the top of your head, do you know of any good resources? I guess if you have a bulldog, right? And somebody had a collie, for example, and the diets might differ between those two types of dogs. Is there any good resources to find that kind of thing out? Or is there anybody doing that kind of research?
There's a lot, actually, and enough that I don't really know of specific ones to send you to, except
Google
to say that Google it. There's a ton of information out there, and of course, anytime you're Googling anything, you're going to get a lot of really bad information along with all the good information.
And advertisements.
Right, but there is good information out there, and also just it never hurts to ask your vet and see if they have a good open mind towards holistic treatments of things, because more and more are becoming knowledgeable about supplements and working vegetables into the diets and vitamins and things like that as part of their preventative medicine.
Right on. So what's your dog's name?
Little Lulu.
Little Lulu?
Yeah.
I know. And what kind of challenges have you been through? You mentioned she's got allergies.
She's got a ton of allergies. She's a bulldog, and they tend to have allergy things sometimes anyway, and skin issues all over the place. And she's white, and white dogs in general, like if you have dogs that come in a lot of colors, the white ones very oftentimes have a lot of allergy and skin issues. And so she's a white bulldog. When I got her, her skin was inflamed enough that it was just pink, showing through these little patches of white on her. But we've got things under control now, and as long as you're very conscientious about what goes into your animal, just like you would be for yourself.
Right, and a lot of unfortunately,
problems.
a lot of people aren't.
Yeah.
So I would think that you're more likely to be less conscious about your animal than you are yourself, especially if you don't think about
True.
it in general. Just picking up a regular thing of dog food, here you go, I love my dog,
The other thing about it, though, is that a lot of times if you make, if you're careless with your pet, it affects your carpet more than if you're careless with yourself. And so you get motivated then to be a little bit more careful with your pet.
Last week we ran a rerun of Lucky, a guest I had on the show, and he and I had a band together years ago, and he had this cat, and it was called Angela. I say it was called Angela. She was called Angela, but this cat was so fat. It was the fattest cat I've ever seen. And he had other cats that didn't get that fat. And I'm like, why does this cat get that fat? So do you think is there any kind of something in the psyche for animals that's similar to humans that just makes someone eat and eat and eat?
Yes. And specifically where it comes from is this, okay? It's less so with cats than with dogs, but I think that I see this sometimes with cats too. Anything that we've domesticated that is carnivorous, usually what they got into a habit of is binging on something because they had a kill, and then realizing they may not see food for another week until there's another kill. So in domesticated animals, you still sometimes see that peeking through. You still sometimes get these specimens that it just seems like if you put food in front of them all day, they'll keep eating all day because they're just like, well, I don't know if I'm ever going to see food again.
Well, that particular situation was not the first time I've heard of people giving their pets diets.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the vet is directing them, somehow in that manner. But wow, a lot of great information, Pat. I tell you, with not being a pet owner myself, but knowing people that have pets, I think they can appreciate that information that you gave out to us tonight, for sure. And I can also tell you, I'm really looking forward to albums that you've got coming out that you're recording. Tim's been telling me all about them.
Right on.
And so that's some excitement building for sure. And I'm sure excited to get those done.
Yeah.
It's been how long in the making?
Let's see. I guess I started doing these in 2007.
Right on.
So
I know what that's like. I started one album in 2005 and didn't finish it till 2008. One time, 6 years. There's other things to do too, I guess.
Yeah, it's life.
Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of just spending all morning till night just to make music.
Except that you never know. This is broadcast on the World Wide Web. There's probably a record exec watching right now that's saying, those are guys that I...
Well, stick around, record exec, because you're going to hear some stuff tonight. Please stick around, folks. We're going to go to a quick break. We're going to be back with Pat and his friend Bill. They're going to do some jamming for us. So please stick around. You will get a real treat tonight. We're excited. Thanks again for joining A Healthy Cleveland, and we'll be back in about 7 minutes from a break from our sponsors.
User-friendly and ready to serve. MorningShowCentral.com. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits. A 99.5% uptime guarantee and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. Check out Uncensored Net Noise every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here. Uncensored Net Noise on MorningShowCentral.com. If you live the lifestyle, then you should arrive in style. Lifestyle Limousine Service. Whether it's dinner for two, an evening at the winery, or a night out on the town, Lifestyle Limousine provides extraordinary service. Check them out on the web, lifestylelimousineservice.com. Reserve your ride now. 330-903-0508. 330-903-0508. Lifestyle Limousine Service. And make sure you tell them Morning Show Central Radio Network sent you. Cocaine Energy Supplement. Due to great consumer demand, Redux Beverages has officially announced the return of its world-famous Cocaine Energy Supplement. It's now available at retail locations across the country, as well as online at ReduxDirect.com. That's ReduxDirect.com. Don't forget to be part of the all-new Cocaine Energy Supplement social network, where you can meet other Cocaine Energy Supplement fans from around the world. Cocaine Energy Supplement. You can become a member. By logging on to lovecocaine.com. Heat 99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies has its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, Pete99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to Pete99.com. Pete99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. Pete99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Having problems with your home computer or business PC? Looking to have some upgrade work completed on your computer? Have a special project in mind that may be too much for you to undertake alone? Time to call
Joe, the printer guy!
Joe the Printer Guy offers a full-service hardware and software repair center at his facility to handle your PC, server, and networking needs. Let their professional service staff handle your computer needs. They offer expert service at an affordable price. Visit Joe the Printer Guy at 14035 Madison Avenue, Lakewood, Ohio. Online, joetheprinterguy.com, or give him a call at 216-651-3880. Joe the Printer Guy. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningShowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. From the Cocaine Energy Supplement Studio, you're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. You're listening to MSC Radio Network, and like anything else on the internet, it runs on computers. Lots of computers. And you know, when you're dealing with computers, hard drives sometimes crash. That happened here at MSC, and you know what saved them? Rectify backup software. Don't believe us? Well, ask yourself this question. Are you backed up? Probably not. So don't be that guy and wait till it's too late. MSC did their research and tried tons of different backup programs and chose Rectify backup software. You know, peace of mind is priceless, and Rectify can give you and your computer system that peace of mind. Find out more at rectify.com. That's RECTIPHY.com. Oh, great. Not another Farmville request. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Morning Show Central. Denying one Farmville request at a time. Pete99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen Pete99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, Pete99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to Pete99.com. Pete99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. Pete99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. You're listening to MSC Radio Network, and like anything else on the internet, it runs on computers. Lots of computers. And you know, when you're dealing with computers, hard drives sometimes crash. That happened here at MSC, and you know what saved them? Rectify backup software. Don't believe us? Well, ask yourself this question. Are you backed up? Probably not. So don't be that guy and wait till it's too late. MSC did their research and tried tons of different backup programs and chose Rectify backup software. You know, peace of mind is priceless, and Rectify can give you and your computer system that peace of mind. Find out more at rectify.com. That's RECTIPHY.com. Cocaine Energy Supplement. Due to great consumer demand, Redux Beverages has officially announced the return of its world-famous Cocaine Energy Supplement. It's now available at retail locations across the country, as well as online at reduxdirect.com. That's reduxdirect.com. Don't forget to be part of the all-new Cocaine Energy Supplement social network, where you can meet other Cocaine Energy Supplement fans from around the world. Cocaine Energy Supplement. You can become a member. By logging on to lovecocaine.com. From the Cocaine Energy Supplement Studio, you're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Healthy Cleveland. I'd like to introduce to you recording artists from Chuckles McChumpy Records, Mr. Pat Sullivan and Bill Brockway.
Thank you. I'm Chuckles McChumpy.
Thank you very much. Anybody out there from Malaysia? I'll let the applause die down now for a second. This is a new song that's going to be on like 2 albums or so from now that I just recently worked up. Called The Album.
scrap metal sound like timbales. Side of the infinite cold, I'm stuck in the flickers and Denali.
This is another new one. It's called Sweet Caramel Pie. It's going to end up on that same record that Dion is ending up on.
try. Filling our bellies, filling our eyes, filling our summertime with sweet caramel pie. First time to try sweet caramel pie. Remember, there's nothing in that recipe can part us for or by. And that is why you have to stretch out your supply. Summer flies, while summer flies stuck in the sweet caramel pie. Windy is windy, it is windy in September's yellow light. Windy, it is windy, and I'm feeling like a kite. And when it really blows, and the wind it really bites. Sweet caramel pie will satisfy every kind of hunger that the books identify. Dressing the bulldog in a jacket and a tie, that holds those babies high while eating sweet caramel pie. And it goes alright, my friend, and I might float on down to my SSISSIPI. Sing till the bottom just to watch it all go by. It can feed 5,000 fishes with your sweet caramel pie. Sweet caramel pie, don't question why. It's not the kind of thing you really need to justify. Mix your milk and honey with the last of grandma's rye, and use that to wash down your slice of sweet caramel pie. And when say goodbye, it's not supposed to make you cry, but it's peppered with assumption. It's a lot in alibi. What I hope for when I die is that I can find sweet caramel pie, my friend, and I slid across your summer sky. Crippled, I am crippled, I am crippled by impermanence again. Crippled, I am crippled, I am crippled as the winter settles in.
Thank you. All right. This is a Phantom Redemption song. This goes all the way back 15 years.
float across the sky. Reflecting shadows of promises we made. Some songs were meant to fade. Some songs were meant to fade. Some songs were meant to fade.
Right on. Thank you so much for sticking around. Got just a few more minutes, and we're going to make a quick smoothie. 1 minute break. We'll be right back.
From the Cocaine Energy Supplement
All right.
Studio, you're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningShowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. You're listening to MSC Radio Network, and like anything else on the internet, it runs on computers. Lots of computers. And you know, when you're dealing with computers, hard drives sometimes crash. That happened here at MSC, and you know what saved them? Rectify backup software. Don't believe us? Well, ask yourself this question. Are you backed up? Probably not. So don't be that guy and wait till it's too late. MSC did their research and tried tons of different backup programs and chose Rectify backup software. You know, peace of mind is priceless, and Rectify can give you and your computer system that peace of mind. Find out more at rectify.com. That's RECTIPHY.com. Cocaine Energy Supplement. Due to great consumer demand, Redux Beverages has officially announced the return of its world-famous Cocaine Energy Supplement. It's now available at retail locations across the country, as well as online at ReduxDirect.com. That's ReduxDirect.com. Don't forget to be part of the all-new Cocaine Energy Supplement social network, where you can meet other Cocaine Energy Supplement fans from around the world. Cocaine Energy Supplement. You can become a member. By logging on to lovecocaine.com. User-friendly and ready to serve. MorningShowCentral.com.
Go ahead.
All right, and we're back. Welcome back to A Healthy Cleveland. I'm Dana Clark. Tonight's guest, Mr. Pat Sullivan. Him and Bill Braddock been jamming out. I said your last name wrong, didn't I? I just like, sorry about that, Bill. Anyway, we're going to make a quick smoothie. We got about 2 minutes here. There are some things in tonight's smoothie that you do not want to give your pets. My goal is to attempt to make the neon pink smoothie. This is the challenge. It is not necessarily easy to do. To get it the right shade of pink, you have to have all the right perfect elements. Yeah. Have you seen the neon pink smoothie yet?
No, I haven't.
The secret ingredient to the neon pink is not the strawberries, right?
Gotta have something.
But it is the beet. All right. First time on the show, we actually got to use some beet. You know, my daughter actually made this by accident. I did not invent it. She did. She rocks. We're going to put a little bit of the Greek low-fat yogurt in it. And we got about a minute left, just enough time to taste this bad boy before we go off the air. Pat, once again, thanks for the music. Thanks for the vet tech info. Obviously important stuff if you're a pet owner. I know there's a lot of great information out there, and you helped us out quite a bit tonight. So once again, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Great show.
Here we go. Get your own Vitamix. If you haven't already, go to ahealthycleveland.com, which you may be already at right now. On the link for the free shipping, get your own Vitamix. Try it out for 30 days. If you don't like it, they'll give you your money back. Personally, I use it 2 to 3 times a day. Oh, yeah. All right, hey, that's not too bad, huh?
That's a nice pink.
I wasn't sure there for a second. My daughter warned me. And Bill Brockway, forgive me. Let me get you a cup as well. Hang on to that. Give everybody a little sample. Cleveland, be healthy. Thanks again for joining us. Thanks, Bill and Pat.
Thanks, Dana.
Thanks, Dana.
Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Cleveland.
Be healthy, Cleveland.